YouTube, how's it going today? So, I've got all this extra time today. I figured I would go ahead and bring you yet another video, my third of the day. More Total War Warhammer 2, more battle replays. I was promised by a certain individual that this was going to be worth watching. And it looks like we got Star Dragon of the Tomb Kings versus Reginald Puggington of the Dawi. I already have my money on Reginald Puggington. If you haven't played him before, he's tough. He's really tough to face. So let's go ahead and watch this replay. I'm looking forward to this. A big wah from the Colonel versus Star Dragon. So that's not Reginald Puggington. Am I confusing people here? I think I'm confusing people. Oh, it's a 4v4. I'm sorry, it's a free-for-all, not a 4v4. It's a FFA battle, so that's what's confusing me. So Reginald Puggington, Star Dragon, the Colonel, and one more, who I don't know who for sure. Looking like some Carrion, some Ushabti, the Bone Giant, some Temple, Tomb Guard, Cetra, the Perishable, and a line of regular old spearmen. Colonel opted for mostly low-tier infantry, backed up by 3 heavy-hitting Black Orcs, as well as a Feral Orc, which is a pretty decent damage dealer. I like the pick of 2 Night Goblins. I don't know if they're Night Goblin fanatics or not, but we'll see about that. And then the 3 archers. We're going to put this into slow motion real quick. So what did the Colonel bring? The Colonel already has 105 points. So there's something happening. There's a throwdown already going on. Yeah, some forward deploy. Oh, those Wild Riders got completely surrounded. No, I thought they were surrounded. I was incorrect. So there's some Night Goblin fanatics, yes. A good pick. I would not have actually put them this far forward, but they're already paying out dividends like crazy against these Wild Riders. Just goes to show you what happens to Wild Riders when they don't get their 67-point charge bonus and they just start in battle. So we're going to let that gestate for a little bit. Let's look at the rest of the Gobbo lineup. So we went with a Night Goblin Warboss on the Squig. I hope this is auto-generated because that is not a pick I would ever see. And we also got an Orc Shaman on top of all the other units I've already mentioned. Over here we have Reginald Puggington is on the Dawi faction. He's already moved up. We got Miners with Blasting Charges, Rangers, more Miners with Blasting Charges, and they're already taking fire from the Chosen of the Gods Ushab and the Ushabti with Great Bows. More Rangers, more Miners with Blasting Charges. 1, 2, 3, 4 Gyrocopters, and I think Gyrocopters, especially if they're Brimstone, there's at least one. There are 2 with Brimstone guns. They're going to be able to put some hurt into Tomb Kings for sure. So I can understand Puggington heading that way. He's brought Ungrim Iron Fist. He's brought Giant Slayers. He's brought regular Slayers, another unit of Giant Slayers, and a Peak Gate Guard Hammerers hidden in the woods. Interesting deployment, but I like how it works. So we already saw the 2 Wild Riders of the Wood Elves with Orion leading the pack. I like Orion as a choice these days. He's got Wildwood Ranger Regiment of Renown. He's got Deepwood Scouts, more Wildwood Rangers, the Eternal Guard Regiment of Renown, and more Deepwood Scouts moving up in the flank. We also have a Spellslinger of Shadows. I love the Spellslinger of Shadows, but also on the mount, which is a really pretty model if you think about it. That's a very interesting saddle and setup that model has. Actually, she's riding side saddle too. Huh, okay, sure, why not? Eternal Guards with shields to just protect their butt, which is not a bad call. So things are already throwing down here at the center. Let's get a good look at this, shall we? Dawi, we're probably thinking about joining this fight over here for some extra points, but no, we're going to focus back over here. The Colonel's really racking in the points off of those Wildwood Riders, and they're getting out of there. Cetra is thinking about trampling some dwarves, and if I was Cetra right now, I'd be taking it. I would absolutely be going for this. I would. And the Tomb Card with Halberds just got discovered. But yeah, and oh, here comes the Carrion to try and tie up the Gyrocopters. I like the placement of these guys, just putting them directly over top of the Ushabti so they can't get shot. And there goes Cetra. That's what I was looking for, because what are these guys going to do? What are Dawi going to do? They do have Slayers, and yes, Cetra steers clear, but honestly, I think you just pull through them. Oh, but here's a great charge right into the back end. Had to break a little for the tree, but those Rangers just took a beating. So the Colonel and Star Dragon off to an early lead here. Hum is the name of our Wood Elf player who's brought up all of his Deepwood Scouts to go ahead and just hammer fire into the Night Goblin Fanatics, who, despite the early points they've gotten, they are now routing, and the Wild Riders are going to go ahead and just have fun with them. So with that, the Colonel finally decides to activate the rest of his army, send them forward, maybe finish up on these folks over here. All right, moving back over to the Dawi and Tomb King matchup. Cetra is having a field day with his mighty chariot. But the Dawi have also almost just about completed their flank maneuver with their Epic Thunderers. And, oh yep, here comes the Giant Slayers as well. Carrion are chasing around the Gyrocopters, which is understandable. I think that's exactly what I'd be doing if I had the Carrion. But now, look, this is a little bit too blobbed up, and that's where, even with Cetra trying to really work things over, look at that. That's just incredible to watch. I'm sure I lost all of my frames there. And he's going to go ahead and hit that unit of miners right in the back end, and then make a hard turn, go straight into the Peak Gate Guard, who start giving up even more points for the Colonel. And it looks like our Wood Elf player has left the game. That's the only way I can think to explain why their entire army is now retreating. Well, that's unfortunate. Definitely must-watch material, I think, huh? No, probably not. Okay, well, we'll carry on anyway. I was promised a good fight, so maybe the rest of the battle is going to turn out well. The Colonel's going to go ahead and try and chase those free points off the table. Nah, it looks like he's forming up, because now he's got himself mostly in a position to do some solid work on the remains of this. And just look at this chaos for a second. Let that settle in. Ushabti are pulling through this. And Cetra is continuing to do his work off in the distance. And oh, there goes more blasting charges right into this tasty, tasty blob. What's that going to do to the score? Star Dragon is actually holding a solid lead right now. But these miners, they've only picked up 1 kill? Now they're up to 6. I think it really feels like those blasting charges should do more damage than that. They're out of ammo now. It's really unfortunate. Oh, look at that steam gun attacks right into the flank here. I'm really anticipating that Reginald Puggington should be dealing much more damage than the Tomb King player, but Cetra, it continues to punish all these Dwarven units. I would love to see just how many points, not necessarily kills, but how many points Cetra the Imperishable can get. This is one epic run for Cetra on this chariot. Just more and more and more points for him. Alright, so the Gabo player is starting to make his way forward. And it looks like he's heading back. Yeah, he's definitely heading back towards his original deployment area. Just kind of hoping to wait this out and hopefully beat whatever's left. I'll tell you why that's not a good plan in FFA. Because the people who are earning points right now are right here. They're right here in this battle, and they are earning so many points. Hand over fist. And one of them is going to lose. And the other one is only going to have but so many points left on the table. Here comes the Summon Ushabti right on top of Ungrim. Not the place I would have put that. Ungrim is anti-large and armor-piercing, and that describes Ushabti very well. Armored and large. So, and with the support of all of these ranged elements over here. Oh, but look, Cetra's definitely taking some damage now. I think that's from the gyrocopters with the brimstone guns. They must have finally chased off the carrion, and now Cetra's going to start taking the damage. But just look at the work that both of these armies are doing on each other. When this is all done, Colonel, I'm talking to you. When this is all done, with your army just sitting here, yeah, you might get the last man standing bonus, but these guys won't have much health left. It would actually benefit these two players to just try and murder each other as much as possible. because whoever's left over, honestly, I would take my troops, and I wouldn't, if I was a Tomb King player, I wouldn't even heal. I wouldn't even go for the healing bonus. I would just go ahead and charge my guys into your line, deal extra damage to you, get more points from it, and then once you rout me, game's over, because you don't get to chase down my troops after that point, because, you know, I've lost. And you're not earning any points from that. The maximum total of points left on the board, like, let me give you an example. Let's say this miners with blasting charges was left. You hit them hard, you break their morale, you probably get 1,000 points, because you dealt the damage to bring them from 4,000 to 5 to 3,000 to 5, and then they rout and they're gone. Bone Giant here is already on the verge of breaking. Let's say you were in this scenario. Man, he's got 51 kills. It's not bad for a Bone Giant. Let's say you grab a hold of that unit and it damages itself from it losing its morale instead of running away, and it just starts to disintegrate. But you only dealt maybe 2,000 points of damage there. So between those two units, for instance, that would give you 3,000 more points, which would be great for you right now. Okay, this is interesting. So Cetra has decided to lead Reginald Puggington's gyrocopters towards the greenskins. Hey, buddy, what you doing over here? I have some friends for you. And the Ushabti with great bows, they've come along as well. I'm actually very interested in this. It's definitely a small skirmish, but come on, just charge right on in. Go for it. Why the heck not, right? You don't want to give those points to Reginald Puggington. You want to grab points. Plow right on in, huh? Yeah, those Black Orcs were not the one to hit. I would have gone for the boys. He's definitely regretting this, is instantly regretting it. It's like, you know what? Never mind. Don't want to be here all alone. Bone Giant somehow managed to get away from the Dawi. Dawi are regrouping. And this is all that's left of the Tomb King player. So Star Dragon, this is all that he has left. The mop-up operation complete. And the Ushabti are going to try and shoot down some more of these gyrocopters. Maybe try to rout them off as well. Yeah, I think that's what I would do as well. I would try and just keep that Bone Giant alive, get him away from there. He's going to get hammered. But he's ready to take a shot at some of these juicy point blobs over here in the green skin Black Orcs. Hey, look at that. That one just picked up, that one shot picked up 1,000 points for Star Dragon. And there goes the Bone Dragon, unfortunately, so that's it. Cetra, I mean, I would absolutely go back into the Greenskin army. I know you're about to die. There's no reason not to. I would go around the Black Orcs. I would hit the Orc boys. Try pulling through them. Maybe get into the back and just hit some of the archers. That's where you're most likely going to collect points, not by charging directly into Black Orcs. So he makes a hard right. He's going to get out of there. Maybe try and make some flank attacks to protect his Ushabti, who are getting melted for the Colonel's point total. I'm going to call this now. This is a victory for Reginald Puggington. I'm making it. We'll see how this turns out, though. Ungrim's up here, taking on several Ushabti all by himself. Don't you know it's hard out here for a Slayer? Oh my goodness, look at Ungrim go. Oh, I heard a wah. Do we have a wah? No, that was just a semi-wah. Oh, some beautiful bombing targets here. And that gets the Colonel moving. He's like, you know, I don't necessarily want to sit here and just get shot up by all these gyros. So I'm going to move my Rusty Airs and my two Night Goblin Archers. Fanatics, by the way. I hope to see them use that Breath Gobbo. It's a lot of fun to use it. Okay, so these gyrocopters are now sitting here taking a lot of fire. But I think the target acquisition is right. Go for the Black Orcs. Maybe pull off a victory. Maybe. I wouldn't put past Reginald Puggington. I mean victory in the sense of, like, last man standing. Not a victory in the sense of points, which I still think Reginald Puggington is going to get the points victory here. Colonel is now racking points back up again. Oh, we have saved some blasting charges. And they do the work against lightly armored Orc boys. That's beautiful. So these Rangers are falling back, but they have more Rangers back here for the Aussie peel, the fall back maneuver. Star Dragon is now officially out, but Puggington is just racking in more and more and more points. And the Greenskin player, not a bad strategy. Just, if he wants to come at me piecemeal, okay, I'll take you piecemeal. I'm going to blob in. I'm going to take out some of these units. But again, the blob kind of pays into a Dawi player's benefit because he still has ammo on these units. Okay, well, wait a minute, not anymore. Now they're out of ammo. If he was... Oh, here comes a breath attack. Let's check this out. Yeah, it knocked over some of the Peak Gate Guard, but I don't believe that spell actually does much against armor. I'd have to check that one out later. What spell was that? I'm not familiar with the orcs actually having breath attacks like that, so I gotta find that orc shaman. It's such an angle that we can actually watch this engagement. So the Orc Shaman skills were Foot of Gork. That might have been a Fist of Gork. Or Edbutt? Yeah, it's a breath attack. That was an Edbutt. And the Edbutt, does it actually have an armor-piercing component? So the Edbutt causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt unit formation. Definitely did that. Short, wide, expanding, tier-shaped attack. Strong versus a single unit, weak against armor. Yep, see, that's it right there, weak against armor. So the Peak Gate Guard, not the best target for that. So here we go. The Colonel has basically routed the entire Dawi army. Ungrim Iron Fist has another 1,300 points on him. So he's going to be the last one standing here, as well as the Slayers. So that's going to be another... Let's see here, 3,000 points for the Colonel. That's going to get him up to about the 7,000 range. And he might be able to take it with the last one standing bonus. He might. Now, Colonel, you definitely had the benefit of... Yeah, I would definitely chase out some of these units, maybe get some more points. You definitely had the benefit when that Wood Elf player abandoned the game. That definitely swung things in your favor, and it's put you in a position where you could win with that last man standing bonus. I think it's 5,000 points. It might be, it might not. Okay, so there goes Ungrim, and that's going to end this battle. Let's see how it turns out. I would love to see that final point standing. Like I said, 7,681, right what I expected. Valiant defeat, yes, so there we go. Reginald Puggington was able to hold off the victory. Let's see how many points that that ending bonus was. So, Colonel did not get the last man standing bonus. That was unexpected. Maybe it's because... Maybe it wasn't calculated since the fourth player abandoned the game. It didn't want to skew the results one way or the other. That's an interesting little balancing factor if that's true. Look at Cetra the Imperishable picking up 189 kills. That was incredible just watching that chariot charge all over Reginald Puggington's forces. It wasn't enough, of course. 25, 0, 40, 31. Not a lot of kills, but plenty of damage. Plenty of damage. And you could tell that was the tactic when he was getting these Tomb King blobs of their low-tier infantry together. They weren't getting the kills, which was surprising, but they were getting the damage. But speaking of getting the kills, that gyrocopter, 217, doing what it does best, burning and burning and burning up all of those infantry blobs with their small splash ranged attack with the steam guns. 130 on that Slayer, 154 on that Peak Gate Guard. They were definitely making the kills, 70 for Ungrim himself. And let's take a look at Hum. Again, very little impact, but it was a very interesting start to things, and the Colonel got a heavy advantage deploying the Night Goblin Fanatics into the Wild Riders. Colonel, when you're fielding Fanatics, you've got to use their breath attack. It is so freaking cool. They pretty much just launch out these goblins, these suicidal goblins with giant, ball chains swinging around in a circle, just moving. You can't aim them effectively. You can't. But all of a sudden, here comes 3 coming out of the unit straight at the enemy lines. It's a great way to break up an enemy charge before you send in your own forces. So with that said, thank you for suggesting this replay to me, Ben. I think Ben is the Colonel. I don't know, but Ben, who was on my stream earlier today, he told me I had to watch that one, and I figured, why not? I'll take a shot. I'll trust him. Throw it out there. Very interesting to see how one player dropping out changed things. So disappointing, but interesting to see how that influenced things. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you very shortly in the next video.